Right, characteristics of a good ref. Okay, you've got to be assertive. You know, fighters are like sharks. They'll smell blood. You know, they'll smell weakness. They'll sense weakness. If you're not assertive, they will probably play on that whenever opportunity they get. It's human nature, you know. So you've got to be assertive, but at the same time, you've got to understand there's a lot of pressure on the fighter to perform. So you don't want to upset them, you don't want to offend them, but you've got to make sure they understand you're there to do a job. You're there to take control. And they're going to have to feel that you're in control. That's a very, very difficult thing to achieve. Some people have it naturally, some people don't. So for me, number one is assertiveness. Secondly, I think you've got to be a very good communicator. If you're not clear with your instructions, and not necessarily verbally, but you know, your body language as well, if you're not clear, people can misconstrue it. And I'm not just talking about the fighters, I'm talking about the production team that are waiting on your cue, and I'm talking about the TV crew as well. Sorry, the people behind the TV crew, so the audience. If your instructions aren't clear, they won't understand exactly what's taking place at any given time. So assertiveness, clear instructions, and obviously reaction times. You can't train reaction times. You just got to be sharp. You've got to be like a cat. You've got to be on it. When you see something happen, you've got to act fast. I think they're the main characteristics. So assertiveness, communication skills, and reaction times. Okay, so I obviously come from an MMA background. I've trained martial arts most of my life, but it was all for the purpose of fighting MMA. One of the hardest things for me in my whole life was coming to terms with getting too old to compete. So what's next? You know, when you can't compete, coaching isn't for me. I've never really gelled with coaching. It's never really felt completely natural. So opportunity come up to referee. With the experience I've got from running many shows in the UK, I had a venue myself where we run shows and events. I picked up a lot of experience and then got an opportunity to referee MMA on one championship. Incredible, you know, for me, it's the next best thing to actually compete in. I absolutely love the challenge, you know, the excitement, the adrenaline. It's surprising how fast everything moves in that ring. I mean, when you're in there fighting, it moves fast, but it seems to move even faster when you're refereeing because you've got two people to look at. When you're fighting, you've only really got one. But when I'm refereeing, I've got two people to look at. So it's quite intense, but it's so rewarding. Okay, so some aspects of refereeing I think that people don't appreciate, although you hear people saying they do. I think the first thing is, you know, everyone's a critic. Yeah, everyone's a critic. Everyone knows best. You hear people commenting and criticising on a referee's decision. You know, okay, some referees maybe do make mistakes. I make mistakes. We're human. But it is very different when you're in there and the action's moving fast. You've got to look at all these different things. You've got to make decisions that are split second. So I think people don't quite appreciate just how hard of a job it is. Also, you've got to think about, I mean, the thing that I think about most from being a fighter, when I'm refereeing, I want it to be fair, okay? My job is to make sure the fighters are safe, and then the second role that I have to carry out is to make sure that it's fair for both fighters. For me to make a decision that costs someone a fight, when they still got a potential chance of winning, it's so difficult. I don't want to take that chance of the guy being able to win a fight away from him, but sometimes you have to. And I don't think anyone will really understand or appreciate just how hard of a decision that is until you've been there and you've done it. But worse than that, you've got to make that decision in a split second. The people just don't understand how hard that is. That's a great question. So refereeing MMA as opposed to Muay Thai. I mean, I've been an MMA fighter for a long time. I've spent my whole life, you know, indulging in the sport. I love it. So for me, it's easier to referee MMA than it is for me to referee Muay Thai. Although I really enjoy the Muay Thai because there's less to look at. Like with MMA, you've got to think, 1 minute you're standing, the next minute you're on the ground, you've got to close your distance and you've got to take your distance back. You're sort of in and out of range. You're looking for subs, and you know, for me as a referee, one of the things I hate most is ankle locks. You know? It's a tiny fraction of a degree and that could be a serious injury. Muay Thai for me is less stressful in many ways because, as I say, there's less to look out for, but it's faster in some ways, and the knockouts can come a lot quicker, and the cuts, and they're very different sports. I really enjoy both. I couldn't really separate in terms of how I enjoy them. Tricky question, that one, mate. You know, over the years, I've been in the game a long time, so I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. If anyone ever wants to follow what I'm doing, some people are interested in my life, some people maybe not. But if you are, just look me up on Facebook, Nick Chapman. My nickname's Headhunter from when I used to fight. So Nick Headhunter Chapman, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I release, I have a really interesting life, so I'm always posting stuff about what I'm doing, and it's interesting, it's fun. So jump on board, follow me, and let's engage. So thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully I might be able to inspire some people, or someone might be interested in my life. And thank you, Officer Matty, for taking the time out to interview me today.
Please like, comment, subscribe, and share.